Naturally. So this is it for the first act. So, welcome. How's the trip? Good. Awesome. So, welcome tonight. It's about the play that we are going to perform is about a couple of people who originally came into the goldfields and how they set up and sort of a couple of things that happened during it. The major things I'd like to point out during the play is that, one, no flash photography. It does scare the actors. We have, this is our third lot this week. Second thing, if you could put your phones on silent, just so that, again, scaring the actors, want to be careful about that. And thirdly, the ponchos are down there. If you do get cold, feel free to go and grab one. And there will be time to talk with the actors and get information and whatever you can out of them. But other than that, without further ado, an ounce of luck.
No, leave it alone, Patty. You know I've already fixed it.
I know. I'm just trying to get it right. What is this? LED. Well, I don't think we're using these lamps back in the day. Weren't we using whale oil or paraffin or something? I don't think this lamp's historically accurate.
Historically accurate? Well, pardon me, Mr. Henson. I didn't realise. I'll tell you what, though. Why don't I nip up to the store, get us some fine, historically accurate whale oil lanterns? And you can get the whale oil. Just head 400 miles south until you reach the coast. Then build yourself a boat. Then keep heading south until you meet a whale. Then catch him, or perhaps ask him to cut some of his oil. And after you've done that, I'll meet you back here. Are you even listening to me?
All right. We use the regular ones then.
Oh, thank you, Patty Hannon. That's very accommodating of you.
You're very welcome, Clara Saunders. So, what are we having for dinner then?
Whatever it is, you'll be eating it, and grateful too. 1,000 tents on this hill, and mine had to be pitched next to yours.
Aye, Clara. Yeah. You'll be looking to move that soon, so you will. What are we looking to dig for gold? Just there.
You can dig around me, you gold-loving fool.
If it wasn't for the gold, you wouldn't be here, Clara. I wouldn't be here. These lovely people wouldn't be here. And you know it.
You're not worth the gold found on the mile.
I'll have you know, Clara Saunders, I've made a bit of a name for myself in these parts. Oh, yeah, that I have. That town, that main street, that's named after me. Hannon Street. How about that? In fact, I've had a number of things named after me. Yeah, I've had a suburb, primary school, shopping centre. Best of all, I've had a couple of pubs named after me. One of them's 24 hours. That's my favourite. I like that one the best. Even that town of Kalgoorlie didn't used to be called Kalgoorlie, you know. It used to be named after little old me. Hannon's Find. Where's your shopping centre, Clara?
You can keep your shopping centre.
Besides, you're right. I never wanted to be the grandest man in the goldfields. There were plenty of others who made more money than I did. But I was a survivor through grit, determination. I knew how to survive out here because I could find the thing that'd keep us all alive. Liquid gold. You thought I was going to say whiskey, didn't you, madam? No, liquid gold. Even the richest man has got a drink in this harsh Australian desert, and there were no fancy pipelines back in 1892. Let me tell you that. All the water we got, well, I just came from rock pools, so I did, and watering holes, and there were precious few of those around, let me tell you. No, the reason that I survived out here and was one of the first men in the field when there was a strike was not because I had a magnificent nose for finding gold. Although I do have a magnificent nose. I agree with myself. No. It's that I knew how to survive out here, travel light, carry only the things that you need, look for signs of nearby water, without it all ending in a pile of dead livestock. Clara, and a cloud of angry blowflies.
They say the sun shines on the backside of a dog every once in a while. So go on, Paddy, tell us about your golden sunrise.
There was no golden sunrise. If you tried to walk here from Perth, it's a ready fool's errand. I should have got the train like these people. They're cleverer than I am.
Well, it sounds like your cup of tea. Go on, tell us your story, Paddy.
You want to hear me story, do you, Clara? Do you want to hear me story?
Yeah.
Ah, you should have said no. You could have got a cup of coffee earlier. Right. Well, I tell you, this is the best part of the train trip. You'll just fly the rest of the way after this. This is the good as it gets. So me and my friend Tommy Flanagan, remember that name? We were prospecting at a place called Floy Flat, sort of out in that direction. We heard about a gold strike at Mount Yule. We packed up our bags as high as they would go, and we took off. 3 days marching brought us to about, more or less around here. Now in those days, there were no pubs selling whiskey 24 hours a day with skimpies in. No, it's just a wide open space, tiny little hill called Mount Charlotte. And on the way we picked up our friend Dan O'Shea. Very handsome looking fella he is, just like yourself, sir. Or at least I think it's a sir. I can't tell him his voice. Anyway, where was I? Yes. So, has anyone been to Coolgardie? Oh, you've been to Coolgardie. You know, it's a tiny little town at the end of a long track, and it was no shining metropolis then, and it certainly isn't today. In fact, I think the village idiot and the mayor are the same person. That's how small it is. You're not related to... No, just checking. Phew, got away with that one. Yes, anyway, well, to go further eastwards, that meant more of the same troubles and less of the same track. Because you see, it's not just the distance that'll get you. It's the heat, the sun, and I know all about the sun. I'm ginger. The flies, and that lack of water. Did you know, Clara, to get a gallon of water shipped from Perth, 2 shillings a gallon, so it would. What about that?
2 shillings a gallon? Do you know what that is in today's money?
Well, you take your 2 shillings, and then you divide it by your age, and you add... Just hang on. When do we go decimal? Was that 66? Yeah. 66. Just hang on. I'm just going to Google it on my phone. Have you got the Wi-Fi password? Anyway, more than you want to pay for a gallon of water, that's for sure. Do you know at one stage you could only have 1 cup of tea with your dinner? But as much whiskey and beer as the hotel had in its cellars. I miss that day. Who drinks tea anyway? Yep, you could even have a bath of champagne for cheaper than a bath of water. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. There you are. So you won't want to wash that hair of yours in a hurry at those prices, Clara. But of course, we didn't know this is where we're going to end up. We could have had another 100 miles to go. So we just did what most blokes did. We just put 1 foot in front of the other, under the sun, and we marched until that foot should strike. There's a nugget, Clara. And there's another one. And another one. There were nuggets everywhere, shining up at us like newborn babbies. The grandest thing I've ever seen. And between you and me, seeing how shady these people are at the front, I'm surprised these are still here. I tell you though, King Midas never could have matched this. But like most of the blokes out here, I'm tough. I've got a pretty thick hide. But I'd be lying if I didn't say the tear in my eye that day.
Paddy, wasn't it Tommy Flanagan who found the first gold?
Ah! Tommy Flanagan who? I've never heard of the fella. Tommy Flanagan this, Tommy Flanagan that. All right. Me, Tommy and Dan, we start packing up our saddlebags with all this gold. I got about $64,000 worth of gold in half an hour. That's not bad going. And we packed up our bags, but then we realised that a fool in his gold has soon parted. we had to consider our options very carefully. So I was the only one that could read or write, so I was chosen to make the trip back to Coolgardie. Did I tell you this? There's a lot of other men camped out around us doing exactly the same sort of thing that we were. So the following morning, when everyone broke camp back, we hung back about a bit on the pretext of a slightly wayward horse. But between you and I, wasn't quite as lost as we made him out to be. That brought us a few precious hours, Clara, before word got out and the plunder began. See, the laws of the land, they still apply to us, little old me, even this far from civilization. So because I was the only one that could read or write, I made the trip back to Coolgardie to register my claim at the Goldfields Registry Office. And some say I was lucky twice that day. No sooner did I set out, some hungry prospector shot my hat off. He thought I was an emu.
Must be your skinny legs.
She's got a point. I haven't got me mum's cooking. Anyway, within 3 days there were 700 men camped out, literally where you've got your backsides now, all around here. This is where it happened. And we're just a handful of fools trying to better ourselves. And I tell you, Clara, even the hardest working digger, the luckiest digger, works himself to the bone, so he does. Gold or no gold.
Isn't that always the way? Men expect they have the hardest of lives. How long do you think I'll be trying to get these stains out for?
You got to work to get the stains in, Clara.
So you want to talk about work? I came here to work. At the tender age of 15, I set out on the long, dusty Coolgardie road to work as a housekeeper. But I arrived to discover they were less in need of housekeepers and more desperate for good nurses. You would know yourself, Paddy. I looked after you returned from the Golden Mile, and there were no rooms left in the hotel.
Oi, that you did. Dysentery, cholera, typhoid, take the life of many a man out here. I tell you, it's hard to maintain yourself when the freshest thing you can get is a draft coming up from the latrines back there. But I paid you well, did I not, for your care and maintenance?
Aye, with the gold nugget from Mount Charlotte. With only 3 women on the entire goldfields. You couldn't afford to make enemies, and you had to go where the work took you. After the Exchange Hotel in Coolgardie was sold off, I found myself a new job at the Great Western, where I met my first love, Mr. Arthur Williams, who ran the billiard room. On July the 4th, 1894, we were married in that very same hotel. It was the first wedding on the Goldfields, and it captured the imagination of diggers far and wide. There were hundreds of men crowded at the doors and leaning in at the windows on that day. And I wore that nugget as a brooch, for good luck.
And did it bring you luck, Clara?
Luck and life come and go as they please. 8 good years Arthur gave me, and 2 strong children, before pneumonia took him from me. But I continued on with my life. I was married twice more, with more children along the way. Yes, I had my time in the sunshine. Speaking of luck, did you hear about that poor devil Verischetti?
Oh, he did, Carlo Verischetti. Buried alive at Bonneville, he did. He was trapped by these spring rains that just come from nowhere.
The very same. Carlo Verischetti was the only fellow of 160 miners to not evacuate a mine after a flash flood. It wasn't the first flood we had, and it wouldn't be the last. But you don't forget those emergency musters. 150 men drenched to the bone and muddy as hell, wondering, is everyone here? Did your mates make it out, safe and sound, or will one unlucky family have an extra place at the dinner table tonight? And worst of all, the horrible moment of realization when a man's name is called, but isn't answered.
Oi, must be a terrible thing not to know what to do.
All they could do was listen. Listen for a sound of life. You can imagine their surprise when they heard him tapping from 50 feet below the waterline. He managed to find an air pocket.
So he was all right. They got him out then.
It was a whole palaver. They got a free not-to-stop train from Fremantle with 2 divers, assistants, and a special air hose to Coolgardie. They finally managed to get to him after 6 days.
6 days. So he was all right then?
That's only how long it took the rescue team to get to him. It took another 3 days to get him above the surface.
They must have been some long, lonely nights.
I am cold too. Vera Sketty thought it was a demon in the diver's mask until he was shown an electric lamp, candles and food. But I dare say, candles are a cold comfort when you're up to your chest in cold, muddy water. And hungry too. 6 days without a feed is enough to make you eat just about anything.
Ah, even you're cooking, Clara.
You watch your tongue, Patrick Hannon. It's dark, freezing business to be sure. With nothing but cold water as a blanket and mud. But can you believe? He went to work underground after he'd recovered. Talk about salt of the earth, Paddy.
Back underground again? That's madness.
It almost makes a 500-mile trip from Percy, Measy, doesn't it?
Well, it does if you're on a train. I'd really walk here.
The lantern's hitting, Jim. Will you be staying around these parts tomorrow?
Oh, I don't know. I might. Then again, I might not. These desert sands, they're still full of gold, you know, Clara, and... Well, who knows where the winds of change will blow me. LED. Anyway, we must be going to bed, Clara. And so must you. And may all your dreams be dreams of riches.
You may have struck it rich out here. You are not too much of a legend. To help me with laundry, you get your skin legs over here, pick up this washing basket.
Nag, nag, nag. I never even married her and I get nagged.
And what's this about you finding the first gold? It was Tommy Flanagan.
Tommy Flanagan this, Tommy Flanagan. I think you're in love with the fella. It's me who found the first gold, I think. They'll be on a train
You
soon.
think?
Yeah, they'll be on a train. They'll have forgotten all about it soon.
Let's give up for Ben and Kira.
Well, thanks awfully for watching our little show. Like Paddy said, it is the best part of the train trip. So just I'm only joking. Only joking. That you're very welcome to ask us any questions that you may like, or test us on our accuracy. We're very good at making up facts on the spot. Otherwise, feel free to come and have your photo taken and selfies. You're very welcome. Otherwise, if you follow the lights through to where the truck and the loader are, on which you can actually sit in the loader and the truck and have a look. They don't work, but if you want to make truck driving noises, you're very welcome. If you don't judge, and you won't be the first, but then there'll be a very welcome cup of tea and coffee and chocolates in the gift shop, and the buses will be on the other side. So thank you so much, and well, may all your dreams be dreams of riches.
As we're going to, because we're not going to be here for a couple of hours.
Let's do it a little bit.